Welcome, everybody, to the stretch run. It is August 16th, and it is Saturday. It is King's Plate Day, and we have the return of the champ himself, David Harrison, who is returning on audio only because of a technical glitch. But David, how are you?
I'm doing well. I apologize for the technical glitch. I have guys behind the scenes working on it, which is actually a lie, but I just can't figure it out. So I apologize, everybody. But how are you, Oldy? Happy King's Plate Day, happy Alabama Day, and thanks for everybody joining.
Do we have to scream "Roll Tide" for Alabama Day?
Well, I'm more of a Georgia fan, so I'm not doing that.
Jay, Bob, Alan,
Hello,
Riz.
guys.
We got a lot of great guys here. We're off to a rocking and rolling start here. We got Saratoga race 6 coming up. One of your favorite things in the world, David, a 5.5 furlong turf sprint for maidens.
Yeah, that's okay, Oldie, because this is one, even though it's a maiden, and they're 2-year-olds, and my normal mindset is just to watch for future reference. And in my opinion, a lot of these races are guessing games, but I'm going to play the guessing game on this one because I actually like a horse in here. I like the 9 a bit in her glory, a horse that actually had a start, but had an outside, was marooned in that outside post at Colonial Downs, 12 of 12. So, and this horse did, she broke slow. And also with that being said, at 5 furlongs, she was able to close and get a second. So again, that is a sign that this horse has ability with a clean start. Maybe she can win here. So I'd be on the 9 here in her glory.
All right, well, I'm going to take a different position here.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with the other Wesley Ward, with the one with the huge works. Santina, the 2 horse here with Victor Espinoza aboard.
Mm-hmm.
For Wesley there. I think both horses are live. They're the second-time starter and the 2 horse. But I'm thinking of a 2-8 exacta here.
2-8. So you like Santina, and you did notice the bullet workout on August 3rd for Santina, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you compare that to the works for Sadie Earp, and again, comparing works, you can get yourself in trouble there. But I think that horse is just working bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you there based on the numbers. And the 8 also is a horse that she broke her maiden. Well, actually, no, didn't break her maiden. She finished second at Gulfstream in her debut race in the Royal Palm, and then shipped over to Europe and ran at Ascot in the Albany. Not a good race, but was not bet that day, 66-1. I believe it was a 17-horse field. So this is a wide open race, and a lot of, again, normally I don't play these races because, in my opinion, they're guessing games. But yeah, I'm going to go with the 9 here.
All right. So you are 9, and I am 2. I'm also a 2-8 exacta box, but I would not be opposed to adding David's horse there and playing an oldie David exacta also.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Now let's see. I'm just looking at the odds now for the first time, so I apologize. So I'm getting 7-1 on the 9. The 8 BB Doll is taking money at 3-1. Santina 7-2. You're taking a hell of a lot of money on that Santina. Off the 7. Well, 7-2 is the morning line, but then you got Victor Espinoza, which I thought he was looking for his first win at the meet, but I see he has a win already. So he is 1 for 12 with limited mounts, obviously. So, and we still have about 3 minutes to post. So, yeah.
And we can watch the race sim in the meantime as well here. I'm trying to get the sound, get something ready to give us sound here as well. So let me get that set up here. There we go. Even though it's probably going to take me putting my headset up to my other computer to do this here. So I've done sillier looking things on here to get audio for the stream. All right, so when we start talking, we'll find out if there's audio there. You know, and beyond that, we have Gulfstream coming up. I believe Woodbine is, well, they're not 48 minutes in post. So let me take a quick glance at the player here. They are 4 minutes. So maybe we should talk about Woodbine as well, because that is the race before the mandatory pick six here. You have the allowance optional claimer here. I actually liked I Got Murphed, the 8 horse here, David, for Tino Attardi. There you're getting 4-1 there.
The 6th race. Okay, yes, I did look at the 6th. And so you like the I Got Murphed, who just missed in his last race at 6.5 on the turf, and has a win over synthetic on July 5th. And this 4-year-old filly, and I'd see no problem with that. I didn't really have a true opinion on this race, but the one thing there's a name of a horse that I just love. So if I was to play the race, I'd probably be on the 6. Tea and Honey with an E, which is an interesting name, but that may be a hunch play for me. My wife's always drinking tea and honey, but other than that, I don't really have a strong opinion on this race. So Tea and Honey actually has won on the synthetic here, but
yeah, I mean, you know, to me, it looked like one of the reasons I liked I Got Murph here is a lot of these just look like money burners to me. Like you look at the 9, who was the morning line favorite and isn't getting bet. And that horse, you know, if you're playing an exacta, that's the horse you want, because it's going to finish second, because that's what it does.
Right. Yeah, and you'll get a lot of that money burners, Oldy, and the non-one is a 2 lifetime, right? So you got a lot of horses, 1 for 14, 1 for 7, 1 for 7, who've been bet and have been disappointing. Yeah, the 9 runs a decent race almost every time in the last 5 or 6 starts, and it seems to love to run second, with 1 win from 19 career starts and 7 places. And he actually just nosed out or necked out I Got Murphed last race, right? So so maybe I Got Murphed as a, you know, maybe a little more upside. I can see your point. That's more lightly raced. So that's where I'd be going to between the 2.
Well, and as well, TSR goes up, going back to the synthetic and I Got Murphed. So they may have just not wanted turf there.
Correct. All right.
I'll throw in, since I mentioned that the 9's going to finish second, I'll throw in an 8-9 exacta as well.
And Bill, thanks for the question. I'll give you an answer on that. And the answer is I don't keep track of ROI for hunch plays, but without keeping track, I can tell you it's probably not a good success rate. I mean, I don't really recommend, if you're a serious player, making a ton of hunch plays, but I mean, sometimes you just have to do it. I mean, it's the name of your favorite uncle or favorite vacation place. I mean, it's strictly an entertainment play. But when there's a hunch play and also
Has
a
drawn
horse
gate
on
number
form that I like,
2.
and they combine together, that'll work.
Saratoga Holiday to gate 3, followed along
Handicapping and
by
hunch. When the hunch lines up with my
Scat Girl,
handicapping.
bound to be true, will come up a bit later. Tea and Honey
Hey,
with
good
an
luck,
E.
everybody. That looks like they're
Zen.
loading in
This field going
Saratoga and
7 furlongs.
Woodbine at the same time. We'll be
An optional
watching
claimer,
you.
him to her for Sophia Vives. I Got Murphed moves up. Next to load will be Miramachi to gate number 9. For Santina de Polaban, it is totally in charge to the outside gate. And Bound to Be True has come to the chute to load as the last to go in. Stand by for a start. Bound to Be True moves up. They're all in, locked up. Off their race, a really good start and one of the best away. Miramachi with Totally in Charge, showing pace in the early stages. Tea and Honey with an E, and I Got Murphed has come towards the leaders, and they're in the top 4 by about a length. Bound to Be True is up in the center. Driving up the rail with room is Ambitious Lass to go up and challenge for second spot. Tracked along by Saratoga Holiday. In behind the main flight early is Scat Girl, and 2.5 to Just Magnificent second last. And the early trailer Him to Her. Showing the way by a length, it's I Got Murphed has gone out in front. Miramachi second on the inside, Ambitious Lass. A length away, Tea and Honey with an E from Saratoga Holiday and Totally in Charge. A length away, Scat Girl is over on the inside of Bound to Be True. And the back markers are Just Magnificent and Him to Her. The first quarter was 23 and 2. I Got Murphed loose on the lead now by a length. Miramachi working in second. They've come away by 3. Totally in Charge is third. Running up the inside is also Scat Girl. On the outer, Tea and Honey with an E, and from the back, Him to Her from last. But here comes Miramachi. Breathing down the neck of I Got Murphed as they corner. On the outside, Miramachi, the rail I Got Murphed, and Scat Girl after both of them, and is pouncing on them. And coming down the outside, Tea and Honey with an E, as Scat Girl has gone to the front. And inside the final furlong, puts them away. Scat Girl by about 3 lengths. Down the outside, Tea and Honey with an E, but Scat Girl is triumphant. Scat Girl by 3.
All right, well, we got to fix the audio here.
Miramachi followed by Just Magnificent and Totally in Charge. Race time 1:24.40.
Look at my ticket here, and it's $48 today. We're going to talk about the 6th race and a moment. Race number 7. My top pick. I used 3, but my top pick is the 6. Road Forever.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
Still had Gulfstream audio there, but that's a nice little boom for you. Is your 9,
Yes,
I think, hung on there.
yeah, I'm still watching the replay. I believe at 7-1 though.
Yep, you're good.
Yeah, and the agonizing thing in that race was it never looked like the 9 was ever gonna go by the 8. I mean, it just didn't, and then just late. And I'm like, okay, now here comes the closer. I'm gonna get beat. but yeah, ooh, that's a close one. Thanks, Willie.
All right, so we got Gulfstream coming up here. So let me get that up here. Gulfstream race 6 is next on the card.
Okay, let me pull it up on my EquinEdge.
All right, let's see. Gulfstream. Race 6.
Race 6 at excuse me, Gulfstream Park. Pull it up.
All right. Let's just start the race sim in the meantime while you're getting ready as well. Not the biggest field, but there's an interesting overlay here for sure.
All right, looking at the all right, so Saratoga, I'm sorry, Gulfstream, we've got a dirt race, 7 furlongs. And I'm
Scratch
thinking
the
you're.
5.
Mhm. I am assuming, Oldie, that you thought there was an interesting overlay here.
Yes,
And is that the Four Secret Empire?
that is the 4 Secret Empire.
Yes, it has the top pace metric. And we've got an EE morning line of 7-2 right now, live at 15-1. That's because he's getting lost on the board probably with the 7. Wow, 2-5. Blew the body.
Did win by 15 lengths last time out, but did it on the lead. And probably a pretty weak field here. Switching trainers, 27% off the claim though, so should be pretty good. And I think Swashbuckle has a little bit of a look as well, but really the only one getting bet here is Lou the Body.
Yeah, and when you see a race, a tote board like this, I'm not sure that even if I was thinking at the beginning of the day I was going to make a plan this race, and if it wasn't going to be the 7, that's just too low of a price. And 15 lengths off the claim, her tack, and at the distance. Looks like has enough speed, but the thing that I'd be looking at is maybe Secret Empire. I agree, could possibly get loose on the lead a little bit here, even though the 6 has some speed. But I don't really have a solid opinion on this race, but I agree with you. I think the 4 may be live to hit the board here at a nice price.
Yeah. And I think the 7 wins, but I'd be willing to take a shot against it on top here. Maybe play a 4-1-6 exact and just throw this 7 out.
Right. Well, I just noticed too, Oldie, that I didn't know that Daniel Hertak was a 13% trainer at Gulfstream. Has a 27% first race off the claim, which is a real good number for a 13% trainer. So, especially if a 15, but I don't know if I'd want to claim a horse off a 15 length win, right? Maybe. I mean, that probably expend a lot of energy. But at 2-5, I mean, I don't know how. This is.
I mean, there's not a lot else to go there off of.
And again, he's been in really good form. The last 3 races, claimed twice in the last 3, so he's been popular at the claim box. You're looking for 4 wins in a row. Again, now when you start dealing with these lower level claimers, you want to strike when they're in form. But, these lower level claimers, in my opinion, can go off form just as quickly as they get into form, right? But
I mean, this 4 won at 25K, non-winner of 2 at Tampa earlier this year.
Right, and that doesn't look like a bad race there, and was as the favorite. And then when last was dropped down to its lowest level at 8,000 beaten claimers. But, maybe the distance may be a problem for the 4 going to 7. Well, because in his debut race at Tampa, maiden 16, had the lead and just packed it in late. And then another 7 furlong race, just optional claimer 16 against winners, just kind of spit a bit late. So maybe there's an issue with the 7 furlongs with this horse.
That is true. It's possible. All right, let's pull Gulfstream back up.
Hey, Tony, thanks for joining.
We're going to the gate. Tony said he had some interesting thoughts on Saratoga late today.
Okay, good. Tony, based on your success in the last time I was on the show a couple of weeks ago, I'm all ears, my friend. All ears.
I once was suggested to be all ears.
There
I grew into them though.
you go.
All right. Another minute here. Just going in the gate.
All right, good luck, everybody. If you have any action on Gulfstream.
The horses are at the gate. It's now post time. Lining up and moving in for the Rainbow Six, worth a pool over $106,000. The race favorite, and heavily so, is number 7, Lou the Body. Rajiv Mirage up for trainer Dan Hertak. In the line goes Secret Empire. Now High Strike and Lou the Body to complete the line.
David, I'm here in South Florida right now because my son moved in today to his dorm.
Oh, back to school. Well, that's right. It's the middle of August, almost the end of August. Oh, what part of South Florida? Tampa area?
No, so he's in Boca.
Oh, Boca.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice. Too bad I'm not in Sunrise. We could have gotten together
Renegade.
more.
They're off. Lou the Body away very well from the outside draw, beaten to the lead, though, by Sharpazano, and from his outside, Secret Empire. These two race on. They've opened 2 on High Strikers, racing together with Lou the Body. Then the filly Not Guilty and Swashbuckles at the back of the field. They chase the speed of Secret Empire. Secret Empire leads by half a length on the outside. High Strike toward the inside, Sharpazano. Way out in the center is Lou the Body. These 4 within a length and a half of each other. Swashbuckles at the inside and Not Guilty's at the back. They were 22-3 opening quarter. They make their way to the half-mile grounds. And from the inside, it's Jose Ferrer and Secret Empire, who have the lead by half a length. 3 wide. Lou the Body. In the middle, it's High Strike. They've gone 3 ahead of Swashbuckle, who's racing together with Not Guilty. And calling it a day is Sharpazano. They run now to the final 5/16. Secret Empire trying to hold off Lou the Body, who's within a neck and going on an attack. From third, it's High Strike. From fourth, and Swashbuckle. Then Not Guilty and Sharpazano. They run their way to the final quarter of a mile, 45-2 for a half mile. With the advantage, Secret Empire to the attack one more time. It's Lou the Body, charging hard to challenge with an eighth of a mile to go. Down at the inside, it's High Strike, then Swashbuckle. Lou the Body on the outside. Secret Empire fights hard toward the inside.
Yeah.
Lou the Body roused forward by Rajiv Mirage, and now he's clear. It's Lou the Body on the board at 1-2 with a hard-fought victory over Secret Empire, who has to settle for second. Running third, it's close.
Or was the other horse
or High
here,
Strike.
and you got 8-1.
1-1.
Hope you had the exacta.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. At least you picked the horse, and I agreed with you
Right.
that at 7 furlongs at Gulfstream on the dirt, normally I like to play speed. So really, you had a 2-speed number, so it made sense to me.
Well, we are going to a 5-horse race at Monmouth Park next.
Okay.
In a turf sprint with a horse with a 63% win percentage that is not the favorite.
Interesting. Let me pull that up. We got 2 minutes to post. All right. Let's see what we got here. I didn't. Oh, yeah. This was really scratched down to, a real short. You got a 5-horse field, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And you got the Stormy Matoli with the 63 win percent. Yes, Scotty Longshot, but a 63% win percentage. Wow. And it's not off the turf, correct?
No.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So you got a 6-5 favorite, Mexican Sugar, who won its last race pretty impressively against a 50 SOR group, 16,000 claimer. Now, even though it drops to a 12.5, this is a tougher 58 group. And yeah, the Stormy Matoli, who was a 63 win percentage, 63% is racing against a 48 SOR last and now 58. But yeah, this is kind of an unappealing type of wagering group here, in my opinion.
Agreed. But I just can't get with 6-5 on Mexican Sugar. Looks like we'll be running from the moon and trying to get there. I don't know that there's enough pace here. Stormy Matoli might not have enough to hang on, but I would take 5-1 over 6-5 any day of the week, though. There, or 9-5 on Pageant Princess.
Yeah, and then you're taking 9-5 on Pageant Princess, right? On a horse that's only got a 3% EE win percentage, so it's a little tough for me to take in any case.
Looks like they're heading to the gate now. Let me get the stream up here. Our first visit to Monmouth for the day.
All right, you're right, Scott. Cheapo Field, yeah. And you know what they say? The old saying is, "Bad horses win bad races." So it's who knows with some of these lower level claimers sometimes.
I'm not sure who says that, but I'll go with it.
Okay. I'm not going to mention any names. There's a handicapper who I've been following for years does mention that quite often, especially during the winter at a certain track.
Would it rhyme with Aqueduct?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, the big A. Especially those maiden 12.5 to 20,000 claimers or the lower level claimers. Yeah, sometimes you get some dubious results in those races.
I mean, you could, speaking of dubious results, the next race looks relatively dubious too, but you could take a look at maybe a 2, 3, 4 double here. 2, 3 doubles paying 23-1, the 2, 4 doubles paying 27-1.
And the runners have now reached the starting gate. It's post time for race number 7. I Believe in Magic goes in. Stormy Matoli taking her spot. Mexican Sugar will be next. Two back, Pageant Princess.
Is they go on the gate?
Yeah, good luck, everybody, if you're playing this 5-horse sprint at Monmouth.
Renee's 6. We're ready to go. And Laurel. I Believe in Magic a little bit slow to go. Stormy Matoli with no problems is on the lead. Mexican Sugar in the second spot. Renee's 6 runs in third. Pageant Princess off the speed.
It's going to be an
I Believe in
interesting
Magic
race
at the rear. They go on to the course proper. Stormy Matoli with everything her own way. She's keen on the lead, but strides away. A 2.5 length lead with about 3 furlongs left to go. 2.5 to Mexican Sugar. She's running a clear second, then a line of 3 at the back. Pageant Princess between horses. I Believe in Magic down on the rail. And Renee's 6, who's 3 wide. Rounding the forward turn, no excuses for Stormy Matoli, who rounds the turn with a 2-length edge. Mexican Sugar is going to have to run her down in second. She's getting outside for the stretch drive. These two are 3 clear of Pageant Princess all in. Then Renee's 6, I Believe in Magic, not her day today. Down the stretch, Mexican Sugar gaining ground on Stormy Matoli, who's asked for more. Pageant Princess is let loose on the outside with a ferocious rally. And here's Pageant Princess and Sammy Camacho running by and drawing clear. Pageant Princess comfortably in the end. Mexican Sugar second, Stormy Matoli third. Renee's 6 was 4th, and I Believe in Magic was 5th.
All right, we have 13 minutes to Saratoga and let's see, we have 24 minutes to Woodbine. So let's see, you want to take a look at either an Ellis or Delaware race?
Sure. Why don't you do that? And I think I may have resolved my camera access. So why don't you take a look, and I'm going to refresh, and I'll be right back with you.
Sounds good, David.
Okay.
That was for sure a stop the race there, Willie. All right, so Ellis, we have a race coming up in a minute, so I don't know how much we're going to be able to get into handicapping here. Let me take a look and just see when they go off. We know a minute could mean something. Now they're going in the gate right now, so let's go to Delaware, I guess, on their soft turf. Your top win percentage is the 2 Dynamic Actress, who beat 52s 2 times back. Didn't get the lead, looks like needs the lead. You have the 4, who is your closer of closers here. Doesn't hurt to flirt. It doesn't hurt to be the top choice and second win percentage, which wins about 20% of the time. Let David in. We can now see him.
Okay. Magic. And Oldy, being an IT guy that you are, I am, in all honesty, I'm embarrassed to tell you what the solution was. So let's not go there, but I was able to resolve it. Okay. It was the simplest thing that I'm looking at more complicated stuff. So nice to see everybody. Finally got it resolved. So thanks for your patience.
Could you resolve for us the fact that how my Cubs went from being one of the top scoring teams in baseball in the first half, and now they can barely score a run?
Yeah, well, you look at it this way. We've got a similar dilemma, because I'm a Yankees fan and who started out the season just incredibly well and then just collapsed with their Yankees issue is not so much run scoring. It's the lack of quality pitching, relief, and execution and defense and fundamentals. But yeah, I don't watch a lot of the Cubbies, but I saw they were having a great season, and all of a sudden now they can't hit, right? So, but it's a long season. I'm sure that they'll bounce back, right?
But even at this point, the Brewers are gone. They're already 7 or 8 games up on them, because they're in their second 10+ game win streak since the All-Star break.
Right. Yeah. Well, you got a pretty, again, I haven't looked at the standings. Once the Yankees start going down the dumpers, I don't look at, I'll look at the standings once in a while. I'm more of a football fan and hockey, but always been a Yankees fan. But yeah, the Cubs are comfortable, right? They still got a playoff spot that's pretty comfortably locked up.
I mean, they're still the top wild card, but that they keep losing that edge, though. They're currently tied 1-1 in the 7th here. So Delaware's the only thing going on right now, unless you want to go to Sweetwater Downs for a quarter horse race. So
whatever you like to do, whatever.
Well, let's go to the soft turf at Delaware. I think you have a chance to beat Golden Rock at the Nest horse here on the soft turf. Maybe won't like the soft turf. Maybe will be too far back. Maybe look at either the 2 or the 5 as possible upset opportunities there.
At Delaware Park. Okay.
For me, I don't know about you.
All right, Delaware Park, race 7, 0 minutes to post. I did see something that may have piqued my interest. Soft turf course, so who knows what's going to happen here, but you have Golden Rocket, the even money choice at this point. Looks like he's got a pretty decent class edge, right? It goes from a 66 SOR now to a 58. But I'm usually a sucker for these first-time turfers. And again, now you're dealing with a soft turf course, so you don't know how some of these fillies are going to handle it. But I don't see what's so wrong with Clementine Hunter.
Yeah.
First time into mischief. And what's the GSR on this horse? So that one horse.
74.
74 is the highest GSR in the race. So yeah, I'd be, if I was playing this race, I'd try to include the one Clementine Hunter. It's Godolphin, comes off a mile and a 16th. A race now. It's a cutback, first time turf. Doesn't bother me that the last dirt race was not good at Laurel, because this is not a dirt race. And the way that I've made money before is coming off who's got the poorest dirt performance and maybe the best turf breeding, and they get overlooked on the board because they finished dead last in a couple of dirt starts, and then they just happen to take to the turf. I think last week at Saratoga we got a few big prices, first time turfers. So yeah, I'd have some interest in them here.
Well, I'm going to take a shot on the 2 here.
Dynamic Actress for Mr. Richard Hendricks, coming off a mile and 70, and we got another cutback.
Dynamic Actress joins the line. Horse World, Martinez Gold.
All right, let me take my headset off so I can put it up to the speaker so you guys can hear the sound.
Okay, and I'll be with you in about a minute and a half.
Honorable win. Do that. Doesn't hurt to flirt.
And guys, can you let me know if you can hear that?
They're all set. Away down, run. Good even start. Good rail speed from Clementine Hunter today. Dynamic Actress surges to strike the top, and Golden Rocket is right there too, chasing the speed of that fourth place position is Honorable Win. Orbs World travels in 5th, high back at you, the last one in and the 6th one away. Martinez Joy has one beaten and doesn't hurt to flirt us less of all. Up and around the first turn they go. Dynamic Actress shows the way past the 6th and shows the way by 2. Chasing in 2nd is Golden Rocket, while Clementine Hunter stays against the PVC. And Honorable Win is now claiming that 3rd place position. That's the first 4. The last 4, including Hey, back at you, those yellow blinkers. Orbs World rides the rail. Martinez Joy still on hold. And doesn't hurt to flirt at the back of the pack. So they race down to halfway, and it's Dynamic Actress showing the way by 1 long lane. Golden Rocket continues to hound the leader in 2nd. Honorable Win is going to be caught wide on both turns. Clementine Hunter is right there at 7-1, trying to get closer, as Honorable Win just got a reminder to stay on the speed. Hey, back at you, Shades Warren's World, and the other 2 are Martinez Joy. Doesn't hurt to flirt. Here's the quarter pole. Dynamic Actress, long-time leader at 6-1. Golden Rocket with the money on that every single chance and getting closer to. Homeward bound now, and Dynamic kicks for the money. Golden Rocket tries to get level, and these 2 to settle the score. Golden Rocket looks level to Dynamic Actress, who's in for the fight. Dynamic Actress holding bravely. Golden Rocket trying to surge late. Dynamic Actress has prevailed.
Boom! Good call, Lee. Good call.
Hey, one of
Dynamic
them,
Actress.
right?
Yeah. Good one. Boom.
All right, Saratoga. And Woodbine will not be going off on top of Saratoga this time.
That's fortunate, and that's just so puzzling. It has always been a puzzling issue to me with all the tracks, especially on a big day like today. You've got a big card, their biggest card of the year at Woodbine, right? I guess next to the Queen's Plate. So, I mean, you've got, this is the Queen's Plate is now the King's Plate because they're a king now. That's what it would be. Very good point. Yes, very good point. Yeah, I don't venture north of the border too often. I know I've had a trip up to Woodbine for a tournament, but yeah, we go off on a big day at the same time as a major track into Saratoga. It's ridiculous. Something that should be solved. All right, Saratoga. Now we've got another race that normally I would not play, but since maiden special weight and we have back to back, so since I just scored with a 701 shot in a 5.5 furlong maiden special, which does not happen too often. So anybody who asks me about ROI, I'm improving my ROI on maiden special weights on the turf at 5.5 furlongs, but that's not saying too much because it was so bad to begin with. So I'm probably maybe 1 or 2% now. But this race is on the dirt, right? And I just think that the way that Hero declared is taking all this money as a first-time starter. What he sold at the OBS sales March for $575, well regarded. These are the horses I'd love to bet against. I mean, yeah, when you see them taking money, especially the first leg of the pick six, you got to use them. But Tom Amos's barn has been on fire, and I love the workout on It's Our Time on August 9th. And really, even the work before Breeze a gate drill at 47-4. This horse, I love Not This Time. This is my favorite sire, and 6.5 may be a good distance for this horse to debut at rather than 6. I mean, normally I prefer a little more distance, and this horse may need a race, but I'd be using the 5 over the 4. And the other horse that I thought had a shot here at a price is Tom Proctor's horse, the 7 Forever Man. Love the bullet workout on August 11th. Raced on July 26th. Steady start. Had a 7 post in an 8-horse field. And at that point, early in the meet, I think it was more of a speed favoring track than it is now. So once this horse got off slow, it had no shot. So I think this horse, the 7, could really improve if it gets off to a clean start today. So I'm all over the 5. 5 as the first timer and the 7 as a horse who started before. So I want either one of those two.
Well, Tony and Patrick both mentioned the 2 Renegade for Todd Fletcher with IRAD aboard. And Tony mentions a horse I had some interest in, the 8 Tiger Rocket for your old buddy Bill Mott. I know a lot of times his horses need a race. But this is the Munnings. I like Munnings, and I just kind of like the works and the patterns, like Tony mentioned, on the horse.
Well, as far as the 2 is concerned, a Renegade for Fletcher and Irad. I mean, normally a first-time starter, I don't love the rail. This horse draws the rail. So I'd be a little skeptical of any horse drawing the rail, and unless the horse is a speedball, and I'm not sure that Renegade is a speedball whatsoever, based on some of the horses that have faster morning works. So that's probably a horse that I wouldn't use. But again, it's a maiden special weight, so I'm not going to talk you of anybody that you're interested in using because we just don't know how these first timers are going to run.
For sure. And, I will say that for Fletcher, not much like a Chad Brown, not taking money here in New York, that tells you that maybe the word is out on that horse.
Correct.
Around the barns there. But Tony wants us to look at the pedigree. So, Tony, tell us what we're looking for on the 8.
We've got the 8-horse Tiger Rocket. Mott's barn's been hot, and also this horse is working out well. Also out of Munnings.
I think was there something specific, Tony? I can look at is there a half brother or something there that I'm not thinking about?
or maybe an illegitimate sister. I don't know. But no, I mean, this is a well-bred field. This horse sold for $300,000 at the OBS.
Hold on, I'm looking at who the horse's progeny is.
And I will tell you, Mott usually doesn't win a ton with first timers, but that's where you're getting a price. He won. He's had a first-time starter win at this meet at a nice price. So maybe it's not an all or nothing with Mott. I mean, sometimes you can, if the right horse, the 15-1 is pretty generous price on a horse that's this well bred.
So Table Flirt is the half, appears to be the half to this horse.
Okay.
Tiger Rocket.
It is out of Constitution. All right, I'm going to get the sound up here. So I will not be able to hear you till after the race.
Okay, good luck, everybody. 7th race at Saratoga. I'm on the 5 and the 7.
Supreme Good to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off. And it's a very fast start for It's Our Time. Hero Declared. Moving through along the inside, and he is in front. They're followed by Forever Man, already 4 lengths off the lead. Renegade moves through on the inside to take third. It's another 3 lengths back to Alguero. Racing on the inside of Supreme Good. Good Illusion is next. The 2 trailers Cost Effective and Tiger Rocket at the back of the field. Just under 22 seconds left for the heavily favored Hero Declared, who takes them into the far turn with a 2-length lead, chased intently by It's Our Time, trying to bridge that gap in second. 4 more back to Forever Man in third. At the rail, Renegade 6 lengths off the dueling leaders. Another 3 back to Supreme Good, who's 3 in front of Good Illusion. Alguero is next, and Cost Effective, top of the stretch. It's Our Time has run right by Hero Declared. It's Our Time opens up authoritatively. Hero Declared is back to second, followed by Forever Man in third. What an awesome performance from It's Our Time. He's going to win by the length of the stretch. It's Our Time by close to 15 lengths.
Great call, David.
Hero Declared.
Thank you. Well, I'll tell you something that's 100% probably the truth. That I'm glad I got 5-1 on this horse, because you're never ever getting 5-1 on this horse again in your entire life. I don't think. Looks like this horse has some talent.
Yeah. Yes. Very
Absolutely. Much. All right, get those future wagers in on the Derby next year, folks. But not this time. Out of a Giant's Causeway, out of a Shady Summer, out of a Summer Front, a bred up the yin yang for distance. Jeez.
All right, let's talk about Woodbine Race 7, the E.P. Taylor Stakes.
Woodbine Race 7.
E.P. and his Taylor. I don't know if he's got a good Taylor or a bad Taylor, but this race feels like She Feels Pretty should be too good for this group.
Yeah.
I mean, the other horse that may have a shot here, but I think is actually being overbacked, is Diamond Rain for Appleby. More of a grade 3 and allowance type over in Europe. I know really well at Woodbine, though. That's my only concern.
Yeah, I thought you'd get a better price, because to me that looked like the other viable alternative here. You're never gonna. This is a Charlie Appleby. I don't know what his success rate shipping over to Woodbine is, but I mean, he's one that's won 2 or 3 at the distance. I mean, the only thing I'll say about She Feels Pretty is that I shouldn't say that, because the horse has won. She shipped up to Woodbine before, so has won before. And then you've got Ready for Cheryl, who's a contender, not really taking a ton of money at 12-1. I agree with you, Oldie. I would think I would be not too thrilled to use Diamond Rain now with She Feels Pretty. I think the value is probably in either the 5 or the 7 as the alternatives. Caitlin, the Greatness, would have to run probably her best race of her life on the turf here. And I think maybe she's a little better on a synthetic. You look at her grade 3 win at 3 back. But it's going to be tough to beat. She's Feels Pretty. But Oldie, I'll be back in 10 seconds. I think I have something in a toaster oven. I need. The last time I forgot. That's my second slice. The first one was burnt, but I still ate it. So I'll be right back.
All right. She Feels Pretty. With 3 minutes for post for the EP Taylor Stakes. We will pull that up. We'll take a look at them on the track here. There's also mandatory on the pick 6 today. The 20-cent pick 6.
Mandatory pick 6. I'm sorry, Oldie. Where's the mandatory pick 6 payout?
At Woodbine.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I'm just going to play those gimmicky bets, but if it's a mandatory, maybe I'll invest 80 cents.
Well, I can tell you for me, if I were looking for 3 singles, I went wider in what I shared out. But if I was looking for 3 singles, I'd be on the 4 here, the 5 in the next, and the 3 in race 10.
Okay.
Gary, I did play a big pick 6 with the group. And I did single the She Feels Pretty here. So either we're going to be dead to start off with, and we'll probably go 5 out of 6. I do think the King's Plate, and we should talk about that too, David, is pretty wide open.
Yeah, I handicapped that earlier this morning, and I agree with you. It looks like the filly is going to take some money for Marquez, No Time. But yeah, I started looking around. There's some intriguing possibilities here. So we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've heard based on some pundits based on her last race that No Time was going to be really tough to beat. But I'm not sure, that this is not a little more wide open than some people think. Yeah. I agree with you.
Well, I think there's value potentially on the 12 who won the plate trial stakes as well.
Mm-hmm.
And those outside posts on the synthetic are not as bad as you would think.
No, I agree. Actually, yeah, I also I had some interest in that horse. And I thought the 11 Tom's Magic, even though trying synthetic for the first time for Stidham, that's an interesting move, shipping, from Monmouth. This horse is Fairgrounds and then Keeneland and Monmouth, now up to Canada. This horse, it's won, race in the Transylvania and had an excuse that day and won almost 16-1. But then had won 3 other races, and the other turf race in his debut finished second. So this horse has ability. And I also thought a long shot at ridiculous price could be a factor in this race to hit the board at least, is this 5 Mythical Man. Not saying the horse can win, but we can get back into that.
Followed along by Diamond Rain.
Good luck, everybody. I think I would take a 4-5 exactly here.
On the track. Next to join is She Feels
Sounds
Pretty.
Like I might have another sound thing on here. Let me just make sure I don't. I don't. Okay.
Now the next to load is Caitlin, Her Greatness, as they move up well. They're just about set for a start in the EP Taylor Stakes. Hurricane Claire going forward. And the last to join is Ready for Show. To the outside gate, stand by for a start. The Grade 1 EP Taylor Stakes. The field is all in, locked up.
Good luck, everybody.
And off they race, and Diamond Rain was a tad slow behind the pack, and in fact is about 2 lengths away last. And as they break, Hurricane Claire makes a beeline for the rail to go out in front and dashes away. Hurricane Claire opens up a lead early, about 2.5 to Caitlin Her Greatness going forward. She feels pretty got away very well, is Handy in third. A break of 2 lengths away, Venetia, followed by Literate, Ready for Shirl. And on the inside last is Diamond Rain. About 7 lengths covers the field up the backstretch. And it is Hurricane Claire shows the way. Caitlin Her Greatness lobbing along. Length and a half away in second. About 2 to She Feels Pretty. Switching the tail a bit. A length away came Diamond Rain over on the inside with Venetia. And racing up 3 wide goes Literate. And at the back, Ready for Shirl. There's about 5.5 covering them. Maybe a bit more now. But Hurricane Claire by 3/4 of a length to Caitlin Her Greatness. And a length and a half away third. She Feels Pretty in the EP Taylor. And a neck away is Literate. 1 away came on the inside of runners, Venetia and Ready for Shirl, and hugging the hedge is Diamond Rain. They start the run off towards the 5/8, and inside it now, Hurricane Claire leads the field by a length. Caitlin Her Greatness second. Diamond Rain is creeping up behind, She Feels Pretty. A length Venetia, Literate on the outside, about 4 off, and last, Ready for Shirl. And as they start to sprint, it's Hurricane Claire in front. Caitlin Her Greatness on the outside within a half a length, and a length to She Feels Pretty. Diamond Rain pushed for the first time, and then came Venetia, Literate, and Ready for Shirl has some runners still at the back. Now She Feels Pretty, tightening the screws on them as they turn for home and races up. And as they turn into the stretch, it's She Feels Pretty grabbing the lead in the EP Taylor. And now Diamond Rain is called on to chase her. And as they come down to the final furlong and a half, She Feels Pretty is out in front by 2 lengths. Diamond Rain, the only threat, they're well ahead. And She Feels Pretty is not stopping. Out by 2 lengths, Diamond Rain is coming on and wandering about. She Feels Pretty. Diamond Rain coming on the outside as they hit the wire. She Feels Pretty narrowly from Diamond Rain. A long gap, the others. Ready for
Logical result, but did you think the 4 was coming out?
I don't know. I was more. Let's throw this Monmouth race up here for a second, and we'll talk through this. But I was more upset at the rider on the 4 who thought he was going to hand ride and didn't actually start riding hard until it was almost too late in the race.
Soze.
Agreed.
All right, cuts the start.
Soze to go into the starting gate.
Wow. So Sayez said It's Our Time had plenty more to give him. Best is yet to come then, man. How much more? Is it 15 more lengths?
When you have your own way like that,
yeah,
you usually don't get completely used up.
Right. But did have a stalking trip, so did stalking run down that speed and just draw off like a monster.
Yeah.
The riders hopped off Soze. Francisco Martinez trying to load Soze into post position number 6 without the jockey.
Kaiser Soze? Anyone that flies this thing on?
Soze went right in with that in mind. 1 back. Exploration. The New York shipper for trainer Rob Atras. Starter back over to the button. Exploration.
All right.
The pink cap goes in.
Look at this.
We're ready to go.
Good luck if you have any action out here.
And Laurel. Slow break from run and score. Good beginning. Soze to the lead at once.
3 and
John
4
Jay right behind him
here.
in chase mode. Second, River Dog in the 3rd position, stalking. Gap of 3 lengths back to CPG. Down
so did the
around to the inside. Exploration is hard ridden in the second last position. Run and score right behind him as they head down the back stretch. 9 or 10 lengths from first to last with a half mile to go. It's Soze paving the way. A length and a tail ahead of River Dog, who strides into second. John Jay retreats to third going into the turn. He's sent upon. Downtown Charlie Brown getting closer between horses. CPG 3 wide with that pair. He's 3 from the top and hard ridden. Gap of 2 to Exploration. And still well out of it here is Run and Score as they approach the top of the lane. Soze, River Dog's coming up to challenge him now. Soze drifting wide off the turn. River Dog moving with him. Downtown Charlie Brown struggling, losing position. He's done. Exploration into third with CPG. 1 furlong to go. Soze finding more. River Dog still trying to get by him. Exploration diving on the rail, but Soze just is not stopping. And Soze and Francisco Martinez are going to go all the way here in race 8. Photo for second. River Dog and Exploration.
A
CP2
wire-to-wire
is fourth
job.
across the finish.
Okay, 2
All
wire.
right. Like we have a minute or two to the Gulfstream. Everybody's going to continue to go off on top of each other here.
Oh, fantastic.
5.5 furlongs, maidens on the dirt. David, what can you make of this race?
Oh, I try not to make much of it, but let me just pull it up. I did look at every race at Gulfstream today. Say I was interested in playing this. Maiden Specials, 2-year-old. Yeah, let me just look at. In all honesty, I had absolutely no opinion on this race whatsoever.
All right. Well,
how about yourself, Oldie? Any words of wisdom?
Normally, this would probably be a race I wouldn't play, but let's look at. First, let me see if I can pull up what Justin's words of wisdom were, what he liked here, because I know he posted something with his picks for the late part of the card. We are Gulfstream race 7. He was 2-5-6-7.
2-5-6-7. Race 7 at Gulfstream. 2-5-6-7 for Justin.
He had the 2 on top. There.
Well, I will tell you that maybe because I'm on a roll with Not This Time, who just blew out a field at Saratoga. We got another Not This Time in here at Gulfstream. However, this is only a 5.5 furlong race. And it's not likely that a Not This Time is going to like the 5.5, but it's been working okay. Had a steady workout pattern there. July 13th, a nice breeze from the gate. Bullet workout on the 23rd. Yeah. So just how about a hunchy type of not staying on that sire today, Not This Time. Maybe the 8 will click, be able to, rally up and maybe get a 3rd place finish or run a decent race and give us a thrill. So yeah, I'd take a shot with the 8. Strictly an entertainment place, just to hit the board. I didn't expect it. I wouldn't expect that horse to win first time out.
I would also say you can do well at Gulfstream playing against Antonio Sano favorites.
Okay.
Or in this case, second choice on the 5 at 3-1. So you go to the 6 or the 2 here.
Right. All right. Good luck, everybody. If you got any action on Gulfstream Park, race 7. Nope. So you got a little gate action there. It looks like somebody rode it up in the gate.
That horse is facing the wrong direction.
Yeah. And I believe that might be that 8 horse. He wants to go 2 turns. Yeah. Hold on a second. We got to go around the other way.
I'm also not hearing the audio here. Change the percentage. It's going to be a minute here.
We have something that's bearing down at post time coming up. Well, it looks like they're loading. They're loading back in, right? They're not backing everybody out. No scratches.
No. Well, with an outside horse, you don't have to back everybody out. You just have to rearrange that one horse. But we have 3 minutes to Delaware and then 13 minutes to Saratoga and the late pick 5 at Saratoga.
Okay. And the finale at Delaware Park coming up.
allegedly here. They're going to be reloading.
Yep, they're out.
Yeah, going to be a few minutes here, folks.
While we have a few minutes, I'm looking at Tony. Hey, Tony, thanks for throwing your Alabama picks out there. I won't get into the full analysis of the Alabama, but in my opinion, it's strictly a 3-horse race. But the 2, you like Good Cheer, and the interesting horse is the 5, Queen Azteca, the horse from Sweden, huh? Wow. I don't think I've ever seen a Swedish shipper this may be the first time a Swedish shipper, I better watch how I say that, has actually shipped into Saratoga. Wow. This horse has been racing Maidan. She's had some success there. Yeah, I wouldn't know how that horse is going to run and what the competition is in Sweden. So it's a horse that I'd be willing to let beat me.
Swedish meatball horses.
Yeah, the Tony is the 8 horse acted up and is scratched. The horse that was the not this time horse. So probably saved me $4. So that's a good thing.
It saved you the what's the term? The entertainment wager.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
All right, so Tony, what's your single at Saratoga in the late pick 5? Then? Yeah, Gary, we will right after this. That's why I'm asking as I'm preparing. For us to be able to do that.
Yes. So yeah, I can actually offer a little bit of opinion. I'm not a big pick 5 player, but I do have a pick 6 that I'm alive. Hold on a second. Am I alive with that? Yes, I did use only 2 horses in the 7th race, the 5 and the 7. So I'm actually alive in a pick 6 for little Bob. So I will offer my opinion on a pick 5. Just basically some of the horses I used in the pick 6. It's a very small ticket.
All right. So let's hear your opinion as well. I know we still have a couple of minutes, but there's still.
Sure. You want to go to the 8th race and start obviously there?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm using 2 horses in the 8th race. I like Cicciabello. I do had posted some notes on this horse. Working real well. 2nd race off a layoff. Ran in Morrissey stakes race. Will obviously need to rebound, but that was a much stronger spot than this group. Even though this horse has won before on a muddy track, he obviously needed this race. That was a long layoff that he's coming off of. And Derek Ryan's a sneaky trainer. The horse has won a race at Saratoga. And then Shared Success, the other horse I like, off that is an 8-year-old horse, but with that race off the turf, ran pretty well. I know looked at not a lot of speed there and took advantage of being on the lead for a while. So I would use the 4 and a 6 in that race. And then
4 and 6. Okay.
4 and 6 in the 8th.
4, 6. Start. Okay.
Okay. Go to the 9th race, and I will tell you, this is where my other single is going to be. I was going to go too deep with the scratch of the 2 Sandal Song, who I jumped off the Spirit of New York to ride for George Weaver. I just was pretty impressed with the 8 Spirit of New York's debut race. Yeah, it was a very contentious pace, but this horse came flying at the end and just easily blew past that group. This New York State break could have some ability here, and I guess you may get a little bit of a price. You won't as much as with the 2 out, but also draws the outside post again. So I do like it. The only horse is run over the track and has a victory over the track. So to me, that's a little bit of an advantage. So I would single the 8. I single the 8 in my pick 6, Spirit of New York.
Single the 8 in your pick 6. You are 8 single. And I was looking at 8 before there, and somehow I jumped to the screens.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping it. If I could type, it would be less embarrassing. Though.
There you go.
All right. Race 10. Again, interesting.
Repeating a late scratch of number 8, Valentine.
Yes. Did you want me to offer my opinion? I got another single, so this will be quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Good Cheer. I don't see how Good Cheer doesn't rebound off that sloppy track. I'm going to call it the debacle. That racetrack, I mean, Le Carriage just got loose. Speed on sloppy tracks or off tracks at Saratoga. These horses just relish that. Le Carriage is freaked. I'm not sure Lacara really wants to go a mile and a quarter, even though she's got the highest GSR. And until she's never won the 6 over a mile in the 16th. And also Nitrogen. I don't think, I'm not sure what you have on Nitrogen. She beat a 3-horse field, 2 other opponents by 17 lengths on a sloppy track. And to me, she's more of a turf horse. And I know Good Cheer, the knock against her, if you can knock a horse who's 7 out of 8, is that she doesn't have a lot of early speed. But Luis Saez, they acknowledge. I saw the Brad Cox interview earlier, or last night or this morning, that they acknowledge they're going to try to be closer to the pace. So I'd be 2 would be my single. Good Cheer.
All right.
Because I got 2 singles because I have to go a little bit deeper in another race coming up. That's what's impossible, which is the 10th. I mean the 11th.
I might go shallow there, so I
Okay.
flip that over. Maybe it's just the 1 and the 2. I'm looking here at the 5. And the 1 is taking a huge drop there. I just don't know if it needs to lead. They're off at Gulfstream. I don't know why there's no sound right now at Gulfstream. Well, the 6 was absolutely loaded, David.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just blowing this field apart.
Right. Let's go to Saratoga. I'm actually going to single the one in race 11 the closer I look at it.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's a wide open race. And I'd almost be, let's see, so what did I? Yeah, so I see your point because of the class edge and the drop down. Obviously, using the horse obviously has a class edge, and the inner turf, the inside post is usually real good for a stalking trip. You stay close to the pace. So I went pretty deep here because I have 2 straight singles before this. I'm 1, 2, 5, 7, 10.
5, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 5, 7, 10. I am going with a single of the 1.
The 1. Okay. And then the last leg, which I thought, again, another 5.5 furlong beauty here. I would go just 3 deep here and looking for a couple prices. I go 2, which is not for hire. The 8, Sir Cartwright, first time trying turf for Jeremiah Engelhart out of McLean's Music. And then the 10, Pay the Juice. So 2, 8, 10 in my last leg there for the pick 5.
And I thought spread here. Give me a couple seconds here. I'll get an exact ticket together.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I may have made a mistake too. In retrospect, I probably would have used the 4. I'm sorry, the 5, Courtly Banker in the last race. Katie Davis is 0 for 30. She's going to get a win. And the last race at 5.5 was good. Maybe rounding back in a little bit of form. In a wide open race, I think I would. I don't have it in my pick 6, but if I played a pick 5, I'd add the 5. So it would be 2, 5, 8, 10 in my pick 5. Because like I said, have back-to-back singles, so you go a little deeper.
All right. And we are looking at, I said, race 10. We're going to single the 1. Saratoga. And it starts race 8.
Willie Nelson, race 8. What about the 2? Hold on. I'm sorry, Willie. Mighty Atlas, huh? Yeah, Willie, as long as Wayne Potts is 1 for 27, I got to stay away from that barn.
Wayne and his Potts.
Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, Cicciabello is taking more money than anticipated, 2 to 1. And I think just shared success, this 8-year-old. I mean, if you look at the amount of times that Jose Ortiz has ridden for the James Bond's barn, doesn't happen too often. So to me, that's a good sign that he picks up the mount on this, or gets back on board again on this 8-year-old horse. So it would be 3 to 6. And now, obviously, I prefer the 6 on top at 10 to 1.
Trying to make sure I get something in.
It's hard for me, Gary, to play Bill, to play a horse that hasn't been out since 2024, even though it's Chad Brown, and a claimer especially. He had won last week at Saratoga, a long layoff. Go off at 3 to 5 and never fired. All right, good luck, everybody. Competitive race here at Saratoga.
I don't think I'm getting anything in here, but get the sound up for everybody. Obviously, I did not, because they're off.
As Hope Palace Boston, come to 4th, 5th, 6 lengths off the lead. Rock the Weekend is next, followed by Crimson Light, Free Clear of Shared Success, and Mighty Atlas at the back of the field. They're on to the back stretch. It's Cicciabello and Get a Job. The opening quarter in 24 3/5 seconds. Aggregation just off the third.
It's pretty slow, going a mile out of that Wilson chute.
Crimson Light cut the cord next to one another. Cut the cord is only 3 lengths off the lead. Followed by Rock the Weekend, Shared Success, Mighty Atlas inside of them. 6 lengths covers them. They're coming to the half-mile ball. Then it's Chichabello narrowly in front as Aggregation moves to attack right now in second. Get a job, weakening along the rail seemingly through a half in 48 and 2/5 seconds. They round that turn, less than 3 furlongs to go. And it is Chichabello and Aggravation right next to one another. Aggregation and Chichabello. Here's Palace Boss angling to the outside in the yellow silk star there at the top of the stretch. Chichabello on the inside with Aggregation. Aggregation to the front. Get a job is inside of them. Palace Boss cut the cord, finishing with some interest. 16th pole. Aggregation trying to finish the job. Cut the cord is really flying. Here comes cut the cord. And
David, I got to take this phone call real fast.
Sure.
Aggregation.
Cut the cord with an outside closing trip. Reminds me of that old Big Sandy at Belmont Park with these horses coming out. Yeah, you got the price, and Bill,
I'm actually
kudos. Aggregation ran a lot better than I thought he would run off such a long layoff, and I mean, just got run down. This 9 was just shot out of a cannon late, and this horse, the 9 is 2 for 5 over the surface, so definitely a usable horse that I didn't come up with.
I would not have had that horse either, so I saved myself some money there by not playing what I was working on.
And if you look at Cut the Cord, that slop track race at July 27th, that's a throwout race. The horse probably did not like the off track, even though it was one at him off track before. You throw that race out, third race off a layoff, gets a pace up front, has won 2 races over the Saratoga main dirt track. So, yep, 10-1 over 7-1. Good prices.
All right, we're going to Monmouth, I guess, David.
Going to Monmouth race 9. Let me just pull up my.
Got a big turf field here.
Monmouth race number 9.
Your favorite is the Scotty First Pick, Tapstick.
We got a maiden claimer for $16,000 at Monmouth. I didn't really have an opinion on this race, so any of you folks out there, if you like something, just let me know. Let us know. I'm sorry. Let us know. But usually not a race that I'd have a lot of interest in at Monmouth.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if
I mean, looking here at Chapstick, that does not look great, but it's taking a big drop at least. The GSR on the 7 merging traffic catches your eye, and the horse goes back to turf, but it has never really run. It has no early speed. As well. The 4 at least is first time turf, so maybe there's some hope for improvement there. That's a David angle right there, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, no. First time turf, Quinteros. And we've got, what price we have? 5-1's a solid price.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Tapstick with the coming out of a sprint, but really never lifted a hoof.
Mm-hmm.
Silent Rage. Yeah, I know a Tapstick at 9-5 doesn't really interest me much.
Yeah, and just don't think this 2 is a turf horse either. I mean, it's taking a big drop, but it's never run a lick.
Right. And then you've got the 8 Union Perfect taking some money at 6-1. You got a murky pace issue. You got the pace metrics are 54, 53, 53, 52. So who's going to get the lead? I mean, Union Perfect, you would think, would gun.
Yeah. I agree with you on Union Perfect potentially gunning, and I think Disobedient Bull could have a shot here, lightly raised, first-time turf, and getting back from a 15-1 morning line, which might be a sign there.
Right. I think that I agree with you, Aldi. The 4 does have like a long shot look here. Even it's taking money at 6-1, and I'd also use the 8. Yeah, I think I wouldn't want to bet anything on the 5 horse. I'm not really off those races at 7-5 too low. So, but I'd probably give us an edge to the 8 Union Perfection here to break on the lead in light with the Bug Boy, 110 pounds.
Yeah.
Just gun to the lead and give it your best hope, and maybe a chance to go wider here, gate to wire. So give you the 8, and I agree with you. The 4 is another live horse.
And if they all gun, then maybe the 7 finally gets the pace that it needs.
Correct. Yeah, 0 for 25. This would be the day. Yeah. All those 4 horses between 52 and 54 pace metrics all go out together.
But I can also say at 4-1, run as far as you can away from that.
Yes, correct. I would agree.
The risk is not priced in there. All right, let's take a look at them on the track. I believe they're about to go in the gate. And it looks like we're on the track for the next at Woodbine as well.
Okay.
Try to keep an eye on that because Woodbine tends to.
You're working with Union Perfection.
We may just have to go to Woodbine.
Okay. Yeah, I see the 8. They're working on the 8. And he may end up being a scratch.
It's been your U and 8s today.
Yeah, I guess the 8's not my number today.
Yeah. So I thought the 5 had a big shot here. It's just a matter of whether there's enough pace for this horse. Play on my tune. You know, this horse has been in against much better, has won some of those races. But I thought the 4 had a long shot look. And I thought the 2 had a big long shot look, a real long shot there. Currently at 15-1, junior hot shot. At Woodbine. Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at the 8th at Woodbine, huh? And there's a horse I really like in here. And that is the 1 Victory Achieved. I mean, off of a layoff, you're looking at about a 7 month layoff out in the synthetic. This horse now, if you look, this horse has won at the distance back in October 24 as a 3-year-old, and then won at 7 back-to-back wins and optional claimers. Maybe didn't just love the going the 2 turns, a mile and a 16th on the synthetic, and had the lead and packed it in late as a favorite. This horse has been taking it was going for 4 in a row in that Sunshine Turf at Gulfstream. Maybe didn't. That's Tapeta. I'm sorry, that was at Gulfstream.
Yeah.
And and then cuts back off the layoff and has won off a layoff before. And so I'm all over the 1 Victory Achieved here, Aldi. Good luck, everybody.
No sound again. I'm going to have to probably reset the.
No, Old Chestnut's still around here. He's got to be an 7 or 8 year old horse by now.
He's an old chestnut.
An old timer. Old Chestnut's an old timer. Oh, the one's getting a bad trip there on the rail. Come on, Patrick, get this horse moving.
Got a loose leader here, though.
Yes, we do have a very loose leader. Simcoe, 22 and 4, but it is pretty fast pace, but he's got a pretty big lead here. Now they're going to be able to run this baby down. Nope, the one just stayed a little bit behind the 3. Not getting the perfect greatest of trips, and here we go down the stretch. The 6 looks going to be
gone.
Yep.
I did not have that.
Nope, me neither. And the one's going to get up for second.
Long gone.
6-1 and somebody was at the 3.
Now, let me see if I can reset this and get the sound back working. Still not hearing anything. Monmouth still hasn't gone off.
There looks like the 8. They're still trying to deal with the 8, who's now trying to be backed in and pushing backwards. You would think by this point, maybe the horse should be a scratch.
You would think at this point it would be long past time for that horse to be a scratch.
No, absolutely.
All right, so I am going to take this off the screen for a second and reshare it and see if that fixes this. Still not hearing anything. Not anybody hearing anything?
Can you hear me now? I'm not hearing anything.
I can hear you guys. Oh, I'm one step away from where I would hear something.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a late
There we
scratch. Number 8, Union Perfection, has been withdrawn. Well, it looks like we're going to run this race here, folks. The runners are staying in the gate. Tap stick goes in, and Quantum Number to the outside post. Again, the 8, a late scratch out of this race. After the race, we'll go over the rules and details for that. In the meantime, we're ready to go in the finale.
Okay, good luck, everybody. If you've got some
interest Laurel in the nightcap, Quantum Number and Silent Rage, both very slowly, especially Quantum Number, who's well behind early. They come out of the chute here, and Jovia's is first with 1 lap to go. Tap Stick runs in the 2nd position. Disobedient Bull 3rd with Valid Connection. Silent Rage in the 5th position early. Merging Traffic outside of him, and a big gap back to Quantum Number at the rear as they approach the first turn run. Jovia's first into the turn is the leader here, and clearly ahead. The margin's 1.5 lengths. Tap Stick right behind, tracking in 2nd. Disobedient Bull on a stronghold. He's running in 3rd. 1.5 lengths to Valid Connection. Another length to Silent Rage. Merging Traffic, 2nd to last in the green silks, about 7 off the pace, and a space of about 10 back to Quantum Number, who is still well behind with 5 furlongs to go. Jovia's first strings them out here and opens up 2. Tap Stick right behind Racing Alone. A similar margin to Disobedient Bull. Then Silent Rage attempts to get closer on the fence. Valid Connection, Merging Traffic. They're pretty much together now. And Quantum Number would have to be much the best to win it from so far behind. Into the turn, Jovia's first, got everything his own way on the lead, didn't go all that fast, and hits that turn a length in front. Tap Stick gets a tap on the shoulder to get going, comes up and is within a neck of Jovia's first, rounding the turn. Disobedient Bull is 3rd, sent along outside of Silent Rage. The others are well out of it as they come off the corner in the nightcap. Jovia's first. Let's see what he's got for this final 360. Looks like he's got plenty here. Tap Stick trying to reel him in. Silent Rage 3rd with a 16th to go. It's Jovia's first. Clings on to the lead. Tap Stick trying to get to him, but Jovia's first is finding more. Jovia's first
and the wire, gate to wire.
Stick 2nd, Disobedient Bull 3rd, and Silent Rage was 4th in the finale.
All right, we are going back to Gulfstream.
A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, we had that late scratch of number.
Oh,
Gulfstream race 8. We've got a handicap race. A big prohibitive favorite. Scotty top pick, Starship Impulsive. Top pace, top win percentage, top GSR, top EE morning line.
yeah, I mean, I think the Scotty picks have this race pretty good.
And looking for, the 2 is looking for a 4th win in a row. And is the speed, it should get some pace though from the 7. Let's go Coco.
Yeah, I mean, the 6, I think, is where I want to go here.
Ashima off a win on, actually a win over the synthetic at a real short price. Goes back to the turf here. It's won 2 races on a turf. It definitely looks like a contender.
Looks like we have Delmar coming up right after that as well. So yes, I guess we are going to be looking at Delmar. I'm just taking a look, make sure we don't miss this race at Gulfstream because they're going in the gate.
Okay, you know, I would take a shot for the 8 sensitivity to hit the board. I think there'd be enough pace with both the 7 and the pressing the 2. You know, Charlie's Wish can show a little speed. So yeah, I'd like the 8 to hit the board in some slot there. So I think the 8 may be closing rather quickly towards the end. We'll see how this goes.
Into line goes Starship Agenda. Now Ashima. Last 2 up. Let's go, Coco. And from the outside, Sensitivity.
David, I'm not focusing on Delmar
Sensitivity will complete the line.
It's a big day at Saratoga and Woodbine, so I haven't really looked.
They're set for a start.
Good luck, everybody. If you're
They're off and racing on the Frolic's Revenge. Let's go, Coco, Ashima, and Starship Impulsive. The first 3 out, but let's go, Coco. She's going to the top. Second is Starship Impulsive from Ashima, who situates herself in early 3rd. 3 back to Charlie's Wish in the blue colors from 4th, racing ahead of Starship Agenda, and Sensitivity is last. Strung out over about 9 or 10 as they swing around the first turn. Edwin Gonzalez letting Let's Go Coco strut her stuff through a 23-2 opening quarter. She's 2 better than Starship Impulsive, who closed as the favorite in 2nd. Ashima's on hold in 3rd for Jaramillo. It's a gap of 6 to Charlie's Wish, who races by herself in 4th. She's a length in front of Starship Agenda, and Sensitivity brings up the back spot, separated now by a dozen lengths. They're rolling up front. Let's go, Coco, to the half-mile point. Puts her chips all in. 1.5, 45-4. Winging out here with a 2.5 length lead, trying to stretch out the group. Starship Impulsive now asked to quicken to go get her. Ashima is 3rd, 7 ahead of Charlie's Wish, who's had a ton of pace ahead of her. She begins to get a rally together. 3 better than Starship Agenda, and Sensitivity is last as they reach the top of the stretch. 3/4 complete. Let's go, Coco. Under siege. Ashima 3 wide, 2 past Starship Impulsive. It's only 3 to Charlie's Wish, then Starship Agenda. Off the turn and the stretch drive. Starship Impulsive rallies in the middle with Ashima launching her bid on the outside. Charlie's Wish is on late. Final 1/8 of a mile. Starship Impulsive digs in. Ashima trying to press past. Ashima, Starship Impulsive. Here's the wire.
Whoa.
It's a photo finish.
That is a close photo.
Comes down to a head bob between Starship Impulsive and Ashima. They left nothing on the
Good
table.
call.
They were 3 clear of Charlie's Wish 3rd and the Frolic's Revenge in 133 flat.
May not have been good enough.
Yeah, and first view there, I think the favorite just got the nose down, but it's tough. It's the camera angle is the key here.
We got Delmar coming up, so let's just take a quick look at
Sure,
Delmar
sure.
race 1.
Mhm.
Well, keep an eye on that. The 4 discrepancy currently at 7-2 for Jerry Hollendorfer is your favorite there. The 3 Unridden Code, not really getting bet, has stopped the last few times on the lead, but gets easier here. And a second off the layoff on the dirt, first time nap. Any thoughts here?
Yeah, I didn't really have many thoughts on this race. Let me just take how many minutes? We're right on.
Yeah, we're right on, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was focusing more on the East Coast tracks today. And especially when I saw the first race with an $8,000 claimer, I didn't put, I just took a glance at it.
I mean, the race sim has it between the 3 and the 4 when they hit the stretch and the 4 pulling away. All right, they're off, so let me get the sound on there for everybody.
Okay.
Our Sunset comes on well, but there goes Roman Empress now to grab the front, and Roman Empress to the early lead with Unwritten Code on the inside now, coming on through to challenge. Discrepancy is away running in 3rd position, and Misty Dancer on the offside in 4th. Followed by Putt for Doe, I'm a Risque Girl. Our Sunset is second last early on, and Shanghai Sunrise is the trailer. Up the backstretch, Unwritten Code and Edwin Maldonado up top. They went 21.92 for the quarter. They lead by 2. Roman Empress in second, moving past the 3 furlong pole. Discrepancy third by a length and a half. And then it's Misty Dancer, Putt for Doe, a 3 wide Outer Sunset, and I'm a Risque Girl. The back of the pack is Shanghai Sunrise. Coming toward the top of the stretch, Unwritten Code the leader. Roman Empress getting a bit closer now. Discrepancy right in behind them in 3rd. Coming off the rail and trying to gain some ground now is Putt for Doe, who's closing in along with Outer Sunset. On the outside, they're both coming on. It is Roman Empress up the rail. Discrepancy to the outside. Putt for Doe, Outer Sunset on the far outside. Coming down to the wire. Discrepancy's going to ride the rail to victory. Putt for Doe was second. Outer Sunset and Roman Empress.
Jerry Hollendorfer.
All right. Discrepancy. Give me 1 second here. I noticed something odd going on the screen there with the video, so I just wanted to fix the feed. Which just takes me 1 more second.
Second photo for show. Hold all tickets.
No worries.
Time 110.99.
Gulfstream 2 did win the photo. I just brought Laurel, which isn't actually Laurel up there. Looks like Monmouth. We saw that already. Looks like they could be done for the day. And we got 32 minutes to the King's Plate here. And then we have the Alabama and the King's Plate going relatively close to each other. And that will be, I believe, the end of our day, our broadcast day.
Yeah, that would not be good. Yeah, that can't happen today.
Number 7, Elder Sunset was 3rd.
All right, let me share this. This would be my Saratoga pick 4. As well, I know we have a few minutes. We have Horseshoe coming online. We have Emerald coming online here, but Horseshoe is going to be pretty much on top of Saratoga. Emerald will be after Saratoga, so we can go to Saratoga here already.
Yeah.
All right, why? Because I didn't hit that. There we go. Now you can see my screen again.
Right. Yeah, and Oldie, the intrigue of this this 9th race, stakes race, the Skidmore, a lot of the luster, if there was luster, it was taken away with the scratch, the 3 late, the 1, 2, and the 5 coming out, even though 5 probably as a first timer wasn't a factor. But Schwarzenegger was pretty well regarded, had bullet workouts, and I've heard some good things about that horse. Then Sandal's Song is obviously coming from Ascot of a decent race, and then but with those scratches, I mean, to me, it's either the 8 off that debut race looks real strong, but now I'm also thinking the 3 because of some of the scratches here. The 3 could get away, even though you may have a speed duel between a 3 Monster and a 7 Bobrovsky. I mean, the Dale Rumba's horse has been, this horse is fast, so that would just set it up for the 8. So to me, the 8 just looks too good here, and that's my single. You're going a little deeper than me, obviously, Oldie, right?
Yeah, I did see your note on the 8. My concern is that there just may not be enough speed here for the 8.
Right, and that is possible, but with the 7 and the 3 in, there could be a contentious pace. But again, in these turf sprints, if you do, and that could be the issue with the 8 at that price, gets off to a little bit of a slow step at the start, it could be over right at the gate. So these races have a tendency, obviously they're sprints and they develop rather fast. So you can't have any step-ups, slip-ups early in these races.
For sure. The Spirit of New York is getting bet pretty hard though. So, and was 4-5 on the morning line. And Adam Rice doesn't typically ship in horses to Saratoga that don't have a really big shot. I think he's something like 40% when he ships into Saratoga.
Yeah, I mean, his success rate is just off the charts, and yeah, he loves to win a race or two at Saratoga every year, every meet, and usually he does. And he's very selective with the amount that the horses that he brings over. That's why he's got a good success rate.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, you know me, Oldie, there's not a favorite I haven't met that I'm not willing to take a look at to try to beat. But sometimes when you pick a horse in advance and then you get the scratches, you're kind of locked in. And so at this point, I'm locked in on a 6-5 shot. Matt Miller, if you can hear me out there, to me, if you want to put a $10,000 straight double 8 or 2 in the next 8 on this race or 2 in a second, to me it looks rather a likely winner. But obviously I've been more on before, and that's not my style. It's not happening with me. But I do have those 2 horses as singles in the pick 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think about, to me, this was a tough sequence, and you saw that in the first leg. And what I would not have had, I was spread in the first leg and still would have missed. So I'm glad I didn't end up playing there. But I'm wondering, maybe Monster is a monster though. I mean, this horse did win at Gulfstream by 9 lengths on the lead in a maiden special weight at 5 furlongs. Right. Maybe there was nothing there, but it's also possible maybe this horse is just going to run away from everybody.
Right, but I mean, Bobrovsky isn't slow. If you look at Bobrovsky, he's got 3 consecutive bullet works. This horse has gone wire to wire in 2 starts. Now, also, Monster has to stretch out from 5 to 5.5. So, you got that extra half furlong there. And but you're right that based on that number 3 with Louis, especially now, Louis Saez is always more aggressive than Junior. So most likely the 3 will have the lead. So if Bobrovsky doesn't get off to a totally alert start, you're right. The 3 could wire this field, and you're getting it's 5-2. So the 2 favorites, so you got 1 speed and 1 closer, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think the question on the 7, is turf.
Correct. First time turf out of Daredevil. who's out of more than ready. Let me just see, what is the GSR on Bobrovsky?
It's bad. It's up on the screen.
Yeah,
it's a 19-point GSR drop going from dirt to turf.
Yeah, when I just look at the breeding, if I just happen to look at the entries in here and I see the breeding Daredevil, first time turf. To me, Daredevil is a dirt sire. So without looking at the numbers, you see Daredevil sire, somebody is probably more meant for dirt.
I would say even more a dirt sprint sire.
Yeah, when I think of Daredevil, I'm thinking 7 furlong dirt. First thing that pops in my mind.
Here, I'm going to see if I can pull up some stats on that here. Daredevil's actually not terrible on turf. Progeny is 14%, 11% on turf.
Mm-hmm.
15% in turf sprints too.
Yeah, that's not bad. Mm-hmm.
No. Now, actually, so dirt sprints actually better on turf in sprints than dirt. Surprisingly, it's surprisingly better in dirt routes than dirt sprints.
Yeah.
But way more starts on dirt sprints. So it may be just the small sample is impeding the results there.
Yeah, possible. Yeah, I agree.
Let me see where they are here, and I'll get the sound up.
Yeah, they're still parading around on the track there, proceeding slowly to the gate.
Okay, I see them going. They're heading out, and then I will throw the headset to the speaker, which for some reason is underneath this device.
Interesting.
You've been able to hear the sound okay?
I'm hearing fine. Everybody else all right?
Yeah. No, I'm saying when I put the sound up.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fine.
I'm loading in the gate for the skin.
Well,
All right, they're slowly loading into the gate before Tough Critic is in.
Malus goes in.
Okay, we're on the same page. Bobrovsky and then Spirit of New York. Good luck, everybody.
And
in the Skidmore at Saratoga.
Of New York. They're in the gate. And they're up in the Skidmore, and Monster rockets out of the gate, opens up 3 lengths in just a few jumps. Bobrovsky is in second, Spirit of New York third, already 5 off the leader as they're in single file. Tough Critic and Malus. It's Monster blazing the way into the far turn. Has a 4-length lead. Bobrovsky is now called on, cutting into that margin as Monster rattled off that quarter in 21-4, drifting out just a touch is the front-running Monster. Bobrovsky in second. Spirit of New York, patiently handled, starts to accelerate on his own in third. Then it's Tough Critic and Malus. They're at the top of the stretch. Monster has a 2-length lead. Bobrovsky cutting into the margin now. 1 furlong left for Monster. Bobrovsky trying his best and getting to him in the final 16th of a mile. Monster or Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky on the outside is right up to Monster and right on by.
Bobrovsky, first time turf, was ready to go. Got off the speed, and the 8 was not good at all.
No.
It was awful.
The 7 patient ride by Junior, exactly the way you needed to ride there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have coming up both the King's Fight and and the Alabama. Those are our next races.
Yes.
We have a quarter horse stakes at Emerald coming up here, I guess, next before Gulfstream Race 8, if we want to check that out.
Okay, I mean, we could always take a peek at that if you'd like. If we have some time. I know I won't have an opinion on that race, but
does not look like we're going to. Oh, there's somebody acting up. Maybe we will have some time to discuss this. You have a heavy favorite in Just FYI. Undefeated.
oh, I see. Just FYI. I was going to say, hold on a second. Just FYI is racing. What I thought Matt took him off.
Quarter horses. Yeah.
All right, wrong horse. Wrong horse.
Yeah, it does look like the 3 horses going to be tough to beat here.
You're 48-1 the price on the 9. He is the longest shot on the board, and this is Watsonville Red.
Has no speed, zero speed, but what he does have is a wicked ability to finish off in races.
And again, away. Good start from Mercurio towards the inside. Jess, FYI, got a clear start. Middle of the track comes Camilla Girl on the attack as well. They dash down the stretch. Jess, FYI, home in front to win the Juvenile Challenge. Camilla Girl was right behind with Gangster on the run. Mercurio.
Much the best there.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a quarter horse race, when you see a horse win by that much.
Oh, yeah.
We got Gulfstream Race 7, or Race 9, I mean. Help if I could add.
How many minutes to post on Gulfstream?
We have got 6 minutes to post.
Okay, so we got 17 minutes to post for the King's Plate. So it should not interfere with the Alabama. So let me pull up Gulfstream here.
And as well, I'm going to pull up some, since we'll have some time after that, for the King's Plate. I'm going to pull up some race replays for the King's Plate. I just need to.
Sure. Okay.
628 race. So if you want to start looking at Gulfstream, I just got to move this so I can get at the race replay tab. For a second here. So this next study is 628 race 5.
Gulfstream in the 9th. Oh, 5 furlong to PETA. Oh, my favorite. And it looks like we have a rather large field here, and we've got a pretty big favorite in 2-1. McCore drew in off the AEs. A big drop down.
All right. Almost got a second race. I got a couple race replays for us queued up, including the plate trial, which a lot of these horses were in. I just got to make sure I have the race number right.
Okay.
It is. Race 8. $720 race 8. Okay. Got a couple races queued up there, but let's talk about Gulfstream Race 9 first.
Yeah, Gulfstream Race 9. What a wide open race! My God, you've got now the favorite draws in the 13 off the AEs and off an EE morning line of 6-5, 36% on the win end. Top Scotty pick. Issue is, I mean, this horse is 1 for 9, but you're dealing with a major drop down, dropping from 25 being claimer to 8,000 claimer today. So going from a 56 SOR group to a 42. But then again, I mean, this is it's only 5 furlongs. The horse does have speed, but that's the is this horse going to be able to clear so easy from that outside post with the presence of the 2 in here, who's looks like cheap speed but blinkers off. So it looks like the 13 would be on the engine and there for a while, but I think I would probably be trying to beat the 13 with the 11 Cajuns cooking. I mean, the horse is only 1 for 13 lifetime, does drop down in SOR and class again to this 42 level, and also 12.5 to an 8,000 claimer, the lowest this horse has been. So I'd look for the price at 701 to beat the favorite Oldy. So I'd be on the 11 Cajuns cooking.
11 Cajuns cooking.
Yeah, how did you see this? Did you look at this?
I'm gonna pull up my notes right now on this. Gulfstream race 9. So I thought the 11 had a look, but I actually have some interest in the 3. They're moving to synthetic. Was in against better, taking a pretty big drop also. Not quite the drop that the 13's taking there. For Crichton, 22% off the layoff. And, it's going to need to be forwardly placed in a synthetic sprint. But, that was one horse that I had some interest in. And is not really getting bet all that much because of the presence of the 13. The other one was my long shot here, the 8, Muchacho Alegre.
Easy for you to say.
Didn't sound like it was easy for me.
No, it wasn't. That's being facetious. El Muchacho Alegre. El Muchacho.
And this is more like a entertainment hunch play.
Okay.
For me. 3-year-old gelding, shortening up to 5. 1, it broke its maiden at 5. Might need the lead. You're getting a price.
Correct.
So those were the spots that I was relatively interested in.
Okay. Sounds good.
Would you describe that drop on the 13 as suspicious?
Yes, I would say extremely suspicious, but there's nothing really in here. And if the 2 with blinkers off, the 13 would gun and could romp this field. But again, I don't love the price. I see a 5-to-1 shot sitting up there that I think is value. But again, we'll see if the horse is taking any late money here.
I don't think the other horses are going to take late money here. Just a hunch.
Yeah, I probably would agree with you.
All right, they are still stalling here. I'm just going to take a look and see how. About 10 minutes from the King's Plate still.
Yeah, about 10 minutes post on to the King's Plate.
We have some race replays, including the King's Plate trial, which will run first, which has several of the horses in it. If they ever go off the
If they ever get to the gate, yes, that is the question. when they're getting to that gate.
Let's get in that gate.
Let's get in that gate. I'm going to pull up the Woodbine feed while we're in the process of waiting for these messages to get in there.
The horses are at the gate. It's now post time. Lining up, moving in. Race number 9. Bettors have this as a 3-horse affair. 3, Cathebe. 11, Cajuns Cookin'. And 13, Macker. Cathebe and Macker both taking class drops. Cajuns Cookin' a consistent sort at this level. He'll be charging hard late. Fighting Words gets ready now. Here's Cajuns Cookin'. Gemstone Warrior. Decisive Pride. And from the outside, Macker. Now 6-5 on Macker. He'll be looking to gun from that outside draw and get over. He's even money. Cipriano Gill for Fernando Abreu on Macker. This race starts the late pick 3.
Tony says the 5 will outrun his odds here.
Okay. Good luck, Tony. I'm on the 11 a little bit as an entertainment play.
Macker's up. He's ready now. We're set for the late pick 3. All set.
Are we? Something reared up in there.
And they're off. On the far outside, Macker indeed gunned by Gill to try to get over, but he's got a host of inside traffic. Look at him line up here. Up between horses, El Muchacho Alegre is going to hold out the favorite, moving out the rail last run. Fighting Words wants to mix it up in the run to the half-mile grounds. It's El Muchacho Alegre who enters the turn on top by length and a quarter. Macker is second. Back to third, Fighting Words on from fourth. Guaycapuro held up in traffic his last run.
It's going to give us a short throw,
back to
probably.
the inside, Cathebe races with Gemstone Warrior out a bit deep on the course, and Cajuns Cookin' as they reach the top of the stretch. They drilled the quarter, 21-2. It's Macker who's up and around El Muchacho Alegre to try to get the lead. From the back, last run at a Giant Price is running on very well. Off the turn and the stretch drive, Gill and Macker trying to turn back last run, who runs at him from the inside. It's Macker who's finding plenty. Last run has fired a great shot. He's going to try to hold off Cathebe for second, but the favorite's a winner. It's Macker to win it by 3.5. Last run is going to hold second ahead of
Much the best
third.
on that outside post, off the speed, and was gone.
All right, let's watch the Queen's Plate trial. Here was won by
locked up. Off they race in the plate trial, a magnificent start. Away well with Scorching De Wolf, 40 and 5 on the outside, and Candy in the center, Audubon Ace, and Unbridled Weather. And they're up. Scorching early, Unbridled Weather pushing the pace on the outside, has the head in front as they go past the wire. Audubon Ace in third, and slipping forward as they go into the turn. Over on the inside, Call Me Sue's got a handy spot, and out wider De Wolf. Over in the middle of the pack, Sedbury's Ghost. 2 lengths away came 40 and 5. Next to last, Watsonville Red and the early trailer. Notorious Gangster 1 away last. Unbridled Weather has taken the lead to the inside. And Scorching now comes off the rail, is a half a length behind. Right on the pace in third, Autobahn Ace. And having a beautiful trailer, DeWolf and Call Me Sue. DeWolf with the ears pricked. A break of 3 to Sedbury's Ghost. Then came 40 and 5. Notorious Gangsters at the back with Watsonville Red on their inside. About 6 lengths covers the pack, and out in front, Unbridled Weather ahead to Scorching. On the outside, Autobahn Ace, DeWolf in the center, having the run of the race. On the inside, Call Me Sue, taking off is 40 and 5 around the outside. And in behind runners is Notorious Gangster getting towards the back with Sedbury's Ghost just ahead. And on the inside, Watsonville Red as they clump right up. In front again, Scorching took over. Autobahn Ace and Unbridled Weather second and third. And now 40 and 5 gaining on them around the outside with There's One Florist taking off for the lead to join Scorching. Running home is Sedbury's Ghost. DeWolf is back in the center. Notorious Gangster starts a run from Watsonville Red out wide. Call Me Sue at the back. Scorching got away at the top of the stretch in the plate trail. Challenged by Sedbury's Ghost looming on the outside. Notorious Gangster's come alive, is trying to mow them down. Sedbury's Ghost has gone to the front from Scorching. And Sedbury's Ghost opens the lead to almost a length. In second placing, running on, is Notorious Gangster, and Sedbury's Ghost has won the plate trail a length. Notorious Gangster second, Scorching third, and Watsonville Red fourth. The race time, 1:50.37.
Here is the one horse for Mark Cassidy, Mansetti.
Moves in, the field is ready to run.
Hard, and that is the 5 horse in this race.
Off their race, pouring out was Mansetti, a bit of bumping to Megalodon and Watsonville Red, and War Signal won the start. Shooting through in the center, Sedbury's Ghost. Mansetti's on the pace, and Handy is Scorching, relaxing on the inside, just behind in fourth, a length to Megalodon. And back second last out the stretch, Church and State, and the early trailer is Watsonville Red. War Signal in front has some company. Mansetti is up on the outside, allowing War Signal to go clear. War Signal by a length and a half now, 2 in second, Mansetti. Scorching has had a good spot early on the inside. Moving forward, Megalodon. And then Sedbury's Ghost caught wide now, Church and State. And back last is Watsonville Red. Showing the way is War Signal as they head up the backstretch in the Marine by 2 lengths. Second, Mansetti. A length away, Megalodon. Floating forward is Scorching on the inside. In the center, Sedbury's Ghost. On the outside, Church and State. And about 3 away last is Watsonville Red. War Signal through a half in 48 and 2, doing it nicely. War Signal by 1.5 to Mansetti. 3 parts to Megalodon. Scorching's had a nice run on the rail. On the outside, Church and State's had a wide trip. Sedbury's Ghost to the center, and Watsonville Red is 2 lengths away last. War Signal still the leader. A half to Mansetti. Coming forward, Megalodon taking off his Church and State. Scorching on the inside of Sedbury's Ghost as they bunch up. And last, Watsonville Red. Mansetti alongside War Signal pushing for the lead. 1 away is on the inside. Scorching asked to run, but Mansetti's gone to the front. And down the lane in the Marine, it's Mansetti and War Signal fighting back. A length away came Scorching, and trying to run for the back is Church and State and Sedbury's Ghost. Scorching's coming into the clear. Mansetti in front, targeted by Scorching. Mansetti the leader. Scorching trying, and down the outside Megalodon, but Mansetti in front. And the beautifully turned out Mansetti wins the Marine from Scorching and Megalodon. Then Sedbury's Ghost, Watsonville Red. Out wider was Church and State, and War Signal the rail. 145 flat.
Interesting race there, Oldy, because when I took another look at Mansetti, draws the rail in here, and there's not a lot of speed. This horse has a 79 EE pace metric, 4 for 6 over the track, goes a mile and a quarter. It could be a rather slow pace. So not reluctantly at that price, I am using Mansetti. I think the 10 obviously is a closer, but then I'm looking, there's got to be, there's a much more, it looks like the filly trying to beat the boys here may be up against it from that outside post, and if there's not a lot of speed on, but obviously a play. And the other only horse, this is such a wide open race in my opinion, that Mythical Man, believe it or not, at 44 to 1. If you go back December 24, that was a pretty impressive race. I was actually at the track that day, and Mythical Man, first time blinkers, second time turf, that optional claimer, really impressed me that day. And then the next race off the layoff, you can throw that race out. That's a Manila Grade 3, much higher class. I'm not saying the 5 is eligible to win this race, but it wouldn't surprise me if the 5 hits the board at a juicy, juicy price. I mean, may be the key to your triples with a third place finish. So give me the 1 and the 5 to hit the board, and the 10 over the 1-5.
Well, give me the 1, 11, and 12 as my top picks here.
1, 11, and who's your third one?
The 12.
1, 11, 12, Sudbury's Ghost. Yeah. You know, Oldy, I looked again at the 11, Tom's Magic. Yes, this horse could have ability, and maybe at 6 to 1, I'm making a mistake by leaving this horse out. But first time synthetic, traveling north of the border, second off a layoff. It wouldn't shock me if this horse ran well, but obviously you can't use them all. I mean, without a start on a synthetic, it's hard for me to use a horse like that. And the 12, obviously, off that plate trial, it definitely is an eligible contender here, no doubt.
And you know, both the 1 and the 12 own wins over the 4 Scorching.
Yes, I've seen that. Yes, yeah. That's what led me to fade Scorching a little bit. So good point.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for pointing that out. All right, they're starting to load in at Woodbine and the big King's Plate.
All right, let's get the plate up here. If you're looking for a double play here as well, you know, I think the 3 and the 10 are both very interesting in the next race.
At Woodbine, 3 to 10.
Watsonville Red as they double load, so they're moving in pretty quickly. It is Scorching who moves up. Watsonville Red now settling into gate number 9. Jose Lescano with Scorching further across. It is No Time, the filly is right. Tom's Magic goes in. Mythical Man is set. Stand by for the start.
Take a look,
Faber
everybody.
is in. The last to move up will be Ashley's Archer. Debris Ghost moves up. Stand by for the start of the 166th King's Plate. All in. Locked up. They stand. And they're off. And as they break, boring out was Ashley's Archer, but DeWolf began sharply. Best away is Scorching. And showing up on the inside, Mancetti. Scorching, DeWolf, Mancetti away from the inside. Ashley's Archer trying to settle on the outside. Plenty of room in the center for Mythical Man, and No Time as Notorious Gangster is next on the inside. A length in behind them. Runaway again. Then Sedbury's Ghost in the middle of the pack, Tom's Magic. Over on the inside, William T, and at the back, Watsonville Red and Faber. And they're well off the inside, most of these runners. Showing the way, it is Mancetti leaving a charge of horses. And Mancetti has the lead by a length. Moving forward into second, Mythical Man, Scorching and coming through in the second to fourth. No Time, the filly. DeWolf is parked up on the outside. Right behind them, Ashley's Archer trapped a bit wide. Notorious Gangster stays in range over on the inside, and William T, the center. A length behind them is Tom's Magic. Sedbury's Ghost is back third last, and together at the back, Watsonville Red and Faber on the inside. The half mile, 47 and 2, and Mancetti in front. Mancetti by a length to Scorching. In third, No Time. Mythical Man on the inside. 3 wide is DeWolf, looking for room. Notorious Gangster. On the outside is Ashley's Archer. William T is over in the center with Runaway again. And in behind them came Sedbury's Ghost, Watsonville Red and Faber. They're bunched up, and now Mancetti sprints for home. Mancetti, 2 in front. Scorching in second. DeWolf third. Mythical Man and No Time in behind them. And trying to run home is Notorious Gangster and Faber trying to get a run as they corner in the King's Plate. Mancetti being chased home by Scorching. Mancetti by 3 lengths. Scorching in second. And then came DeWolf. But it is all Mancetti and Scorching. The only danger at the moment. Mancetti by 4 lengths to Scorching. And then Notorious Gangster, and out wider on the track, Tom's Magic. and Man City coming down to the wire. What a gate to wire winner. Man City and Pietro win.
Boom, 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 boom.
My 3 horses in the exacta too.
What's that?
Should have played my 3 horses in the exacta too.
Yeah, yeah. And again, this is the value of looking again at a race when you don't see a lot of pace. I did not intend to use this one horse in any fashion until I started looking at the favorites, the horses that were played. I'm like, there's not a lot of pace in this race. And when you see 18-1, that I'm thinking this horse has a really good chance to hit the board. And again, this horse got the lead. The 2 horses went with him and really never challenged him. So, and it's a rather easy win.
The winner is number 1.
And I thought the 10 was a little vulnerable.
Second is 11, Tom's Magic.
It could be compromised by the pace of the outside post. But
yeah,
nice.
Fourth was Force Fortune. 1-11-3-4.
And thanks for that replay. I think that replay sent me over the top of that Marine. I mean, that was a pretty good prep race. And then I'm looking, I'm like, got the rail in the speed. I mean, what's wrong with the rail in the speed?
And also had a side kind of a sideways break, like Citizen Bull there. But I want to point out to you now that we've seen the value there of the race replays, that all of you have access to those race replays as well.
Alan, congrats. I'm sorry.
I can get my screen to scroll here. Here we go. All you have to do, and I can't show it because of the way these things are licensed, but all you have to do is click on the horse and click on the little arrow next to the horse, and that will bring up that race replay. And of course, it would help if I was showing that. There we go.
Correct.
So that's all included in the subscription. Anytime you see something grayed out, like you see here for the Aqueduct race, that means there is no race replay because that track is not licensed us to show that. But and I do think I probably wouldn't have played that either. I'm also alive for $20 in a double to the 3 and 10, like I mentioned. So I had a win bet there, and I'm alive to what I would assume are pretty good sized doubles. I did not check there.
With Mancetti? With Mancetti?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the 1-3 is paying 67-1, and the 1-10 is 119-1. And if you look on my screen, you can see I actually had Mancetti originally listed as my top pick there. So, but let's go to the Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama.
Another big race of the day.
Another 1.25 miles.
Yep.
And then that just shows you, Oldie, at the 1.25 miles, I mean, I've seen so many races won by speedballs, right? You always think 1.25 miles is longer than a mile. They don't go 1.25 miles a lot in a lot of these tracks. Mostly 1.16 miles, 1.125.
Yeah.
And when you get to 1.25 miles, it's a great. You think, oh, the closers, same thing as like on 1.125 Belmont Stakes. No, normally not. The pace is slower, and horses can open up leads easier because they're not pressed as much sometimes. And you might, some people love Lacara because of the same issue here. But I just have questions about her ability to get the distance.
Yeah, and I could see that for sure. I just think the question here is more who goes with. Why didn't Brad Cox put a rabbit in here? Like I believe Rapoli referred to the Chad Brown rabbit last week or 2 weeks ago as the emotional support rabbit.
Right. That's a good one.
Which I thought was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
But I mean, I think Lacara's got a shot. I really didn't like Nitrogen at all in the spot.
Mm-hmm. So who would be your preferred? I'm sorry, Alda, who would be your preferred pick here on top?
So for me, it's either Gutierrez or Lacara. I'm going to go Lacara on top just because of the pace advantage.
Right.
Because the other thing we have to remember here is Nitrogen is in the same bar.
Correct.
So the Nitrogen's not going to duel with Lacara. on the front end. That's not Nitrogen's running style, first of all. So unless somebody shows speed that we don't expect here, I just can't see that this doesn't repeat what we saw, in the slop.
Right. And obviously, Lacara was aided by the track, and the last just went out. Nobody else went out, and it wasn't a slow pace. But I mean that and didn't Scottish Lass come back and win again? I might be mistaken, but I think
yeah.
So that could be a key race, but again, you've got Good Cheer never really ran that day. That track was just she was against that track bias and the track condition. So you would think that Good Cheer, who's a closer, would be in a much better spot here. But to me, and I think we're on the same page, it really is probably a 2-horse race rather than a 3, because I don't think Nitrogen's all that on dirt. And that mile race is, again, doesn't matter. You've seen horses freak before in the slop and win by multiple lengths, and then come back on a dirt and not really fire. And this was she faced 2 other rivals. I mean, and that was an off the turf race. This horse, I guess he's thinking, well, maybe she's good on the dirt. We'll take a shot at the Alabama, because I don't know what other spot they have for her. But maybe, So at this point, you got a long way to the Breeders' Cup turf for her, the fillies. So, I just think they're taking a shot in the dark here with the 4. So
I'm going
to the 6. Yeah, I'm on the 2.
I'm going to put the sound down here. There we go.
Good luck, everybody in Alabama. I believe it's all Good Cheer, and Oldy likes the Lacara wire to wire.
Lacara going in. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Alabama, presented by Keeneland Sales. And Lacara quickly darts out of the gate and takes command. Nitrogen, second in the opening furlong, and Good Cheer secures a spot along the rail in third. Then it's Queen Azteca. Margie's Intention is second to last. And Kinsey Queen, after a rough beginning, is at the back of the field. Nitrogen's wing very wide around the first turn as Lacara hugs the rail under Dylan Davis and leads by 2. Nitrogen gets a little bit closer now to a quarter that went in a very slow 24 and 4/5 seconds. 3 more lengths back to Good Cheer in third. And then another length and a half to Margie's Intention, 5 lengths off the lead. Queen Azteca is next, and Kinsey Queen is at the back of the field. Down the back stretch, and Lacara trying to go as slow as possible, and she's doing it. 49 and 3 for the half. Nitrogen, her stablemate, a length and a half away. Another 3 back to Good Cheer, who's comfortable in third, and Margie's Intention is fourth. Coming to the half-mile pole, 5 lengths off the lead. Now a little nudge for Kinsey Queen at the back of the field, joined by Queen Azteca. 113 and 1, Lacara. Nitrogen turning up the pressure now as they start to sprint around the far turn. Luis Saez and Good Cheer being called upon to. She has 4 lengths to make up, being motivated to get after the top pair, Lacara. And Nitrogen looming large with a quarter of a mile to go, takes the lead away from Lacara as Good Cheer angles to the center of the racetrack. Then Margie's Intention, they're coming to the 8th pole, and it's Nitrogen in front by 2. Good Cheer is trying to run it. These are the 2. Nitrogen still full of run with a 16th to go. She's shifting about, but maintaining the lead while going wide.
Oh, don't go to the inside.
Go inside. Nitrogen and Jose Ortiz to win the Alabama.
Only wrong about that one. Yeah.
Well, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. But, there was definitely what they would refer to as herding going on there.
Yes, absolutely. And that's not going to have any change there. But there's, Jose Ortiz sits off the pace of the stablemate, which was probably the intention. And maybe Mark Cassie had questions about the 6 getting the distance. And he made the right choice here because with that slow pace, The two ran the best race. Just the pace was a little too slow. And sometimes the pace makes the race.
For sure. And congratulations to the Connections of Nitrogen, who now have a legitimate Grade 1 winner on dirt, which I'm sure does help the breeding rights as well.
Absolutely. Winning the Alabama? Absolutely.
So that horse, if it gets a Grade 1 on turf, that they're going to be able to sell that horse,
right,
for a lot of money. So either way, for a lot of money,
right. And I thought, absolutely. And I think you saw that on the board. It surprised me that Nitrogen was, even though Nitrogen was in the 9-5 choice, based on the lack of speed in the race, I thought Lacara would take a little more money. But Nitrogen got off the solid second choice here.
Yeah. Super impressive winner. Very impressive. David, it's been a pleasure. I think that unless you want to, we do have the Share Dream handicap at Gulfstream that we could wrap up with here that we can show, and then we could call it a night here.
Sure. How many minutes to post we have, Oldie?
We got 3 minutes to post.
Right, sure. Let's wrap it up. And congratulations to Nitrogen and Mark Cassie.
For sure. Okay, so let's talk about.
We'll wrap it up here. And so let's go to Gulfstream race 10.
We got a very heavy favorite in Hauling Ice.
Hauling Ice. And I was just going to say, when I was handicapping it this morning, that Hauling Ice is going to be a pretty prohibitive favorite. And there we go. I don't know about that low, but let me just pull this up here.
It could be, Hauling Ice a little different than Hauling Oats.
Correct. Ice rather than oats.
Yes.
Even though Hauling Oats would be more appropriate to name a thoroughbred racehorse.
It is.
All right, so Hauling Ice now is 1-5. I mean, obviously she's in here to pick up a easy victory, possibly. But let me just take a quick look to see if there's any other possibilities here. I mean, she just won rather easily last time out on the, and she loves a little bit of moisture in the track. So usually these 7 furlong races, I'm looking, is there a speed that might, she's got speed. So, I mean, it's not like she's slow. She's got the second highest pace metric, but so she will be on the lead. I do like speed going the 7 furlong distance there on the main track. And let's see, we have also this 2 is out. I can see that middle racing. Yeah. Looking for a long shot here, or a horse that may be able to hit. I don't think there's anything wrong with, it's not giving you too much here. The horse that finished second to Hauling Ice in the last is Vincy Girl, right? Mm-hmm. And Vincy Girl now draws the rail. Does not have a lot of speed, but, maybe closing here, saving ground from the rail. So I would give a shot to the 1. And the 8, Royal Poppy, is just loves the 7 furlong distance. Looks a little cheap in here compared to the 7. So if I'm going to use if I was doing anything here, I'd be using the 7 over the 1 and 8.
Yeah, so I also saw the 1 as the main danger here. I did think there's enough other speed here in the 9 and 6 that if the 7 doesn't get the lead, maybe it would be a problem.
Feature race on the card here, and as
and that's what I was hoping might get you the turnaround that the 1 needs to win. Yeah, the 9 has some significant speed. I just don't think it's classy enough. I don't understand the 7-2 morning line or the 3-1 price right now there.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But so I think we both agree that the only other real alternative seems to be the 1 here.
Right, but I do think the 8 Royal Poppy is a reformed claimer. I mean, Used to race in New York. Based on how she loves the distance and that track, she'd run well here.
It's the outside post that concerns me on the.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, let's pull this up here. I'm going to have to take this call. I'm going to have to call back because there was multiple calls. So let me just see if I can. Or
yeah, crypto. Yeah, and David Barista. It was an interesting decision to go to the inside with good cheer, right?
Well, I think that was because nitrogen kept floating out, though.
Yeah. All right, they are slowly loading the gate for the 10th race, the stakes race at the sheer drama at Gulfstream on the main track at 7 furlongs distance.
The horses, they're at the gate.
No, let me blow my sign. I
Almost
apologize.
time. In the line they go for the sheer drama handicap of 20.
Yep.
All right, looks like they're all in the gate. We're basically all settled. They're getting settled.
Rice is not sure.
All right, and they're off.
Rumors have it away well from the outside. Hall and Ice got away cleanly enough, moving between horses. Poema is fleet of foot. Poema and Rumors have it 1-2. Third is Hall and Ice. From fourth, it's Royal Poppy. A gap of 4 more. Galop de Hermé outkicked in the early stages, 7 lengths behind. Moving out the rail, it's Vincy Girl, third last.
What a trip this 7 sitting, huh?
Is the early trailer. They're rolling early.
Yeah, the 7, right?
1 and 3.
The horse doesn't look that relaxed.
Opening quarter as Poema and Rumors Have It continue to spar. Tripped out third is Odds On is Hall and Ice, and a gap of 5 more to Vincy Girl. She's together with Royal Poppy, who's in the yellow blinkers on the outside. These top flight runners continue to dominate. They've worked 4 ahead of Galop de Hermé, way out of it near Missouri and puckered. They speed past the 5/16 through a wicked half of 44-1.
Yeah, one might win this race.
Has been softened up by Poema. Here's the fresh threat from Hall and Ice. Vincy Girl charging hard to try to get the in-battle duo. Royal Poppy makes it up to 4th. They move to the top of the stretch. 3/16 of a mile to run. It's Hall and Ice on the outside to take the advantage. She was close to that fast pace. Rumors Have It is right there with the fresh legs down the center. Vincy Girl. Final length of a mile. Vincy Girl rising to the occasion and takes the lead now. Back to second is Hall and Ice. Here's Nurazuri up for third. The winner of the sheer drama is Vincy Girl by 3. Second, Hall and Ice. Third from Nurazuri. And
yeah, once you saw that crazy contentious pace, and again, sometimes a horse runs the best race, but is a victim of the pace, being too close to that pace at 3 to 5. And when you saw that the one making that move, it looked like she was going to be challenging that favorite. So it's the second choice, so it's not any big pride. But again, you beat the favorite, so and that's always what I'm looking to accomplish. So in most cases, except for good cheer in the last race, but it is what it is. You know, you make picks, and
yeah, that's true as well. Appreciate it, David. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad we were able to see you by the end there.
Sure.
Nice little effects you did there and magic.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me as Justin's fill-in for today. And I apologize for the the video issues earlier, and thanks for everybody joining in today. It's always a pleasure to get your input on horses you like and your insight. So thanks again, guys, and we will see you in the future. Bill, I think we will be returning to the show next week. Well, I spoke to Scotty. We're going to try to get on a roll heading into the fall with that NHC Friday show. So thanks for hanging in there with us.
And guys, I can't remember if it was Scotty's birthday. It might have been the 14th, but go say happy birthday to him. It was his 60th birthday.
Yes, it is his birthday, and I wasn't sure what date it was, but I know there's a.
No, let's not mention that because I don't know if he's listening here. So
yes, I won't mention anything about anything, but I did hear that Scotty McKeever was born in August, and my wife. We wanted to find out. My wife had a birthday this week. She's born the 13th, so happy birthday to both.
Yeah.
So.
And I turn 50 tomorrow as well. So.
Oh, congrats. The big 50.
Thank you. Yeah.
You going out to, you're celebrating going to Wrigley Field tomorrow, or are they away?
I am. So I am on a 7:00 in the morning flight. The wife and daughter pick me up at the airport at 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be to the train back to the red line by hopefully 11:30ish, and we'll be at the Cubs game.
I kind of figured that was a pretty good guess of mine, huh?
Yeah.
That you'd celebrate your victory at Wrigley, your 50th at Woodbine. I'm all right. I see Woodbine there at Wrigley. Well, good luck. Hopefully they put in a win for you on your. Hopefully it's a 5-0 shutout, just in honor of your 50th birthday. So might get some runs scored. So, all right, guys. Thanks again, everybody. Happy birthday, Oldie. And we'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one.
Thank you, everybody.
Weekend. Okay, bye.
Thank you, David.